Hello, and thank you for visiting the Obtaining Your First School Nurse License component of the Massachusetts Educator Licensure Series, often referred to as MELS. Throughout this presentation, there will be references to finding additional information, such as guides, forms, and other websites. You can find links to these resources within the overview located directly beneath this video. When selecting the type of school nurse license, please keep the following in mind. You cannot obtain a professional license as your first school nurse license. Individuals with at least 3 years of experience under a valid school nurse license from another state or jurisdiction may qualify for a Massachusetts temporary school nurse license. If you do not qualify for a temporary license, you should be applying for an initial school nurse license as your first school nurse license in Massachusetts. A passing score on both portions of the communication and literacy skills test is a requirement to obtain an initial license. However, taking this test is not required to earn a temporary license. Individuals who have a bachelor's degree, hold a valid school nurse license from another state or jurisdiction, and have 3 years of employment as a school nurse may qualify for a temporary license. For example, Susan holds a valid Pennsylvania school nurse license. She was employed full-time by the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Public School District for the past 3 years as a school nurse. Susan is a good candidate for a temporary license. However, please be advised that an individual who has failed any portion or passed all portions of the communication and literacy skills test is not eligible for a temporary school nurse license. In addition, the department does not consider a test failed and subsequently passed as a failed test. A temporary license is valid for 1 year of employment and is non-renewable. School nurses employed under a temporary license for 1 year have a professional responsibility to obtain an initial license before starting their next year of employment as a school nurse in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. Let's cover documents required to earn a temporary license. To document possession of a bachelor's degree, applicants should upload an official undergraduate transcript that includes the registrar's signature, verifying a bachelor's degree conferred, along with the conferral date and all coursework within. The degree must be completed through a college or university accredited by a recognized organization. Applicants who earn a degree outside of the United States through a college or university not accredited by a recognized organization should upload a degree equivalency report made by a nationally recognized agency. Statute requires a bachelor's degree. Therefore, applicants with graduate degrees still must submit verification of a bachelor's degree. In addition to an official transcript verifying a bachelor's degree conferred, individuals seeking a temporary license should upload a copy of their valid school nurse license from another state or jurisdiction, or a letter signed by an authorized signatory written on official letterhead from the issuing authority, stating the field, grade level, and type of license held. If you cannot obtain either of the above noted documents, you may upload a copy of the issuing authority's electronic file, for example, a public lookup, verifying the license you hold, along with the official URL for that file. Applicants should also upload a completed school-based employment verification/induction and mentoring form, or a letter, as noted on this slide, verifying employment under the license for at least 3 years. Please note that employment under a valid license is defined here as meaning employment as a school nurse in the state or jurisdiction that issued the license. You can find additional information pertaining to how to upload documents, recognized accrediting organizations, nationally recognized agencies, and the school-based employment verification/induction and mentoring form through links within the overview located beneath this video. Also, please remember that an individual who has failed any portion or passed all portions of the communication and literacy skills test is not eligible for a temporary school nurse license. In addition, the department does not consider a test failed and subsequently passed as a failed test. The initial school nurse license is valid for 5 years of employment, not 5 calendar years, and if necessary, can be extended for an additional 5 years of employment. 2 paths exist to obtain an initial school nurse license: general and internal panel review. The panel review is the process used by the department for reviewing and recommending candidates for initial licensure who have substantial experience and formal education relevant to the license sought, but have not met the specific license requirements. The requirements to earn an initial school nurse license include possession of a bachelor's degree, which can be in any field, and achieving a passing score on the communication and literacy skills test. Another requirement is possession of a bachelor's or master's degree specifically in nursing. If you do not have a bachelor's or master's degree in nursing, the next screen will include information about the panel review process, which might be applicable to you depending on your circumstances. In addition, a valid license to practice as a registered nurse in Massachusetts and at least 2 full years of employment as a registered nurse in a clinical setting are required. Lastly, initial licensure requires the completion of an orientation program based on the requirements for delivery of school health services as defined by the Department of Public Health. Currently, the Boston University School Health Institute for Education and Leadership Development, or SHIELD, offers this orientation program. However, school nurse candidates may have completed the orientation program through Northeastern University. Please upload official transcripts verifying a bachelor's or master's degree in nursing. Applicants with graduate degrees still must submit verification of a bachelor's degree. Remember, these transcripts must include the registrar's signature, degree conferred, conferral date, and all coursework within. The testing company submits communication and literacy skills test results to the Office of Educator Licensure electronically. You can find additional information pertaining to how to upload documents, recognized accrediting organizations, nationally recognized agencies, and the Massachusetts Test for Educator Licensure through the links contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. To document the required clinical nursing experience, please upload a letter or letters verifying at least 2 full years of employment as a registered nurse in a clinical setting. The letters should be on the official letterhead of the organization where the employment occurred and signed by a head administrator, generally a human resources director, president, or executive director. The letter should indicate employment specifically as a registered nurse, whether you were employed full-time or part-time, and include the dates from and to of your employment. If any employment is less than full-time, for example, per diem, then such letters should state the full-time equivalency for each applicable period of employment. As for the orientation program, please upload copies of the required certificates of completion. Lastly, to verify possession of an RN license in Massachusetts, please upload a copy of your valid license to practice as a registered nurse in Massachusetts or your valid RN licensure information found via the Massachusetts Health Professions License Verification site. You can find additional information about the School Nurse Orientation Program and the aforementioned verification site through the links contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. As for the panel review, an individual who has substantial experience and formal education relevant to the role and responsibilities of a school nurse who does not qualify for initial licensure through the general path may receive a panel review recommendation for initial licensure. For example, an applicant who has an associate's degree in nursing who satisfies the first 3 requirements on this slide but does not have a bachelor's or master's degree in nursing may be given panel review consideration, which may lead to the issuance of the initial school nurse license. Please keep the following in mind. A temporary license is valid for 1 year of employment. An initial license is valid for 5 years of employment. In addition, applicants who have not satisfied requirements to advance to professional licensure may extend an initial license for an additional 5 years of employment. The extension requires verification that you either have been employed for 5 years under the license or are in the 5th year of employment, and submission of a letter or form stating that you plan to complete the requirements for professional licensure. Educators employed under a temporary school nurse license for 1 year have a professional responsibility to obtain an initial school nurse license before starting their next year of employment in the role of the license in a public school or other setting where possession of a valid license is required by Massachusetts law. Educators employed under an initial school nurse license for 5 years have a professional responsibility to extend the initial license or advance the initial license to a professional license before starting their next year of employment in the role of the license in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about educator licensure in Massachusetts. Thank you also for being an educator or aspiring to become one. Your efforts are commendable and greatly appreciated. We hope this component of MELS has been helpful. Please visit other components of the series for additional information about educator licensure. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call the Licensure Call Center at 781-338-6600 or stop by and visit us in person at our walk-in service counter at 75 Pleasant Street, Malden, Massachusetts, 02148.